What is going on, everybody? Well, finally got a truck. More importantly, finally got around to actually making the video about the truck. I've only been talking about this for almost a year because I've almost had this truck a year. But it's a 2016 Ford F-150 Lariat with the 3.5 EcoBoost. Love this truck. Like I said, had about a year with it already. Loving it. Absolutely loving it. I do a decent amount of kind of city driving and a decent amount of highway, and I'm averaging, I think, 18.3. Wow. 18.3 right now. Like I said, that's doing a lot of like grocery getting kind of stuff. But when I'm on the interstate and I reset it, I'm averaging probably around 24 or so. So it's actually getting pretty dang good gas mileage. It has the larger gas tank. I think it's 34 gallons. So when I do fill up, it does take a lot, especially with gas prices right now. But the nice thing is, when that truck turns back on, it says how many miles till empty. It's about 625-ish usually. I think it calculates it off the miles per gallon at the moment. So it's usually about 625 miles till empty, which is awesome. Hate having to stop for gas. So if I can fill up once and be done with it for a while, definitely a fan of that. But also keep in mind, that means wherever you fill up, even if it's 5 cents, 10 cents difference, it's going to add up pretty quick. So that's definitely one thing to keep in mind. But let me show you around this bad boy. So I'm a big fan of this body style. I really like it. Not super boxy, not overly like sport looking. It's just a good slick look. I like that front grille with the color matching bumper. That's a big thing for me. I am not a fan of chrome. Not a fan of chrome whatsoever. So I really like this body style. The Lariat, honestly, I don't know what other trims lower than that have the matching color mirrors and also back bumper and front bumper. But yeah, this is definitely a body style that I very much like. And then also, like I said, no chrome. Not a chrome guy. Not even a little. Definitely like this body style. All right, so we'll start from back to front. So I have the key fob that if you double click, it'll let the tailgate drop down. I've used it maybe 3 times in an entire year. So it's kind of just one of those fancy things, I guess, to have on your key fob for the very odd occasion that you might actually use it. The truck came with this rollaway bed cover. I just rolled it back just a little bit just so you can kind of see like how it works. It just literally just rolls away, and then there's these little clips right here that you can kind of keep it back. It's been super nice for trying to keep the bed clean or cleanish. It's just kind of nice to have. Honestly, I don't know if it adds any aerodynamics, but it's just kind of nice to have that little bit of extra cover. One thing I've not tested out a ton, but I'm a big fan of, are these LED bed lights. I've only used it once or twice. That was during like camping and hunting. Just kind of nice to have that extra bit of light. I know you can't see it that well, but these are actually pretty dang bright, and then they obviously fade away. But it's nice to have. Came with a bunch of tie downs, kind of these like bolt-on ones, and then you have like your regular ones. Just kind of nice to have. I don't tow a lot of stuff or really have a need for putting a ton of stuff back here, but when you do, it seems like it has plenty of room. I think it's a 5.5 box. Just kind of does the trick, and I don't need to have really much of anything past that. One thing with this is that it gets so hot. And so this just kind of, you pull these little levers, clips back down, and then you got your seal. So it's nice to have, nice and protected back here. So kind of moving on to the back seat. Super roomy. Got some big friends who have been in the back here, and it does the trick. I mean, you got a solid amount of leg room, and that's with my seat to where I like it. I'm 6 feet tall, and I can fit back here pretty easily. Comes with this kind of bench style seating that has the storage underneath. I just got usually some towels. I got my glassing pad. I got my tripod, the usual just kind of stuff. And then I got my tow rope, some tie downs, and ratchet straps, and then a little homemade first aid kit there. So yeah, I really like this. So kind of my favorite thing, and you can see where the dog's been, obviously. This does have a little lever, so it won't just automatically fall down. It actually can lock into place. Kind of one of my favorite things for back here is actually how, and I don't even know if they did this on purpose, but the car seat fits on that single bucket like really perfectly. So you can still access all the stuff in here, and you can put underneath that one, I guess, stuff that you just pretty much never use. Just a big fan of how that works with the kiddo. Then you got your armrest and your drink holders. So back here, got the 110 outlet, and then got some glare, and then USB, or not USB, but you got your cigarette port there, which it's funny how that's still a thing, even though nobody smokes in here, but they still have all the things. So moving on, we'll go around to the other side. Like I said, this is just really nice to be able to have this on one seat. So, anytime you're trying to get access to the under seat storage, you're not having to take the thing out, get your stuff, put the thing back in. It's just kind of a big pain in the butt. So it's nice to just have that on one seat. Come around passenger side. This is obviously the wife's chair 99.9% of the time. Always has plenty of room. No real complaints on that department. Decent storage. I mean, I don't really keep much stuff in there anyways, but it's got good storage, and all that kind of fun stuff. So kind of going around to the captain's chair, if you will. You got your typical controls right here. One thing I'm a big fan of is the preset seats. So you have 3 options, and you just adjust it to where you want it, hold down the number, and then it sets it. It's super nice, so you can get in there and have it exactly where you want it every single time. And then you got, obviously your typical windows, and then the folding mirrors. Super big fan of that, especially with some of these spots being tight. You don't want somebody to ding your mirror, whether it be a person walking by or another car's mirror, whatever. You can fold those in there. So kind of hopping in. Well, real quick, we got adjustable pedals. I've never messed with those. I think they're fine right where they're at. Fog lights. You got your truck bed light, your illumination settings for the dash, and then your typical kind of running lights, whether you want it to be running lights, headlights, automatic, whatever. I pretty much always have it to automatic. And then these are cool. These are actually fairly handy. So left and right side view mirror lights. So that is what these are underneath here. So this lights up when you have the door open. Obviously, if you can see, that's lit up. But then you have these LED lights on the side, which are turning signals, but they're also a bright white LED light. So that's super helpful when it's super dark and you're camping or whatever. So hopping in here, you got all your typical controls: cruise control, phone, volume, menus. Got your push start. That's, I think, because I got the Lariat and up gets that. It's pretty nice. Definitely a big fan of that. Never needed this trailer backup assist thing. Don't tow a ton, but even if I did, I probably still wouldn't use it. Maybe just to mess with it and just kind of see what it does. This knob is super convenient for when you're just going on-road to off-road, on-road to off-road. Just being able to, take your foot off the gas and switch it. I'm a big fan of that. And then you got your typical regular controllers here. Big fan of this and this. This is air-controlled seats and heated seats. Huge fan of that when it's super hot out, like right now when it's like 100 degrees and you hop in the truck, kind of cold starting it. Cold hot starting it. Because you can hop in there, the seats will cool down in like a minute or two, and then the AC on this thing is super efficient. I'm a big fan of that, and also the heat. The heat works very well with this. So kind of moving on, you got your cup holders. You got the sliding kind of hidden storage where I got my charger, and I got some change in there. I usually have like chapstick and whatever. More charging capabilities. Then up here you have just kind of more lights. You got the Moonroof, which I'm a huge fan of, which is sweet. I definitely like being able to put that thing all the way back. Sunglasses. You got your rear sliding window. Garage key thing. Here you got kind of your typical storage. I got my binos in there. I got some masks. I got some protection, if you will. This slides back and forth. Kind of loosey-goosey. That's kind of one thing I'm not like a super big fan of. It just kind of is there. But it's nice to put like, stuff like this when you're in the backcountry and you're just moving around from, campsite to campsite, or you're trying to glass and whatever, and you got just little stuff in there that you want to put. And then this little handy dandy pen holder. That's always nice to have. And then you got more, my Under Armour, or Armor All, I think is what it's called. Those wipes, they were not very wet. I was at the very bottom, so it left a lot of like kind of crappy little stains. We got more cup holders. And that's kind of the gist of it. One fun fact, make sure I don't lose my audio. One fun fact, so that's kind of the startup. Engine on, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, 18.3 is what I'm averaging right now. And there you can see my miles to empty, 586, and that's after I have been running errands today. So when I first started, it was like, I think it was 622 is what it was. But one fun fact is that with this the 2017s, so I'm going to shut this off, but the 2017s didn't come with the Apple CarPlay. The 2016s is the last year that they didn't automatically put in the Apple CarPlay, which is a huge bummer because that was honestly one of the biggest reasons why I got like a new truck. I've never had anything new, and it's 2020 and I got a 2016 and I'm like, wow, this is new. This is wow. So 2017 is when they started to just have that be a standard feature, probably for certain lines and above, but that was kind of a bummer. But I think there's like a little USB port that you just swap out inside that kind of hideaway right in front of the shifter. And it's like $40, but I'm just cheap and also don't really want to have to deal with it. And it's already got 10 times as much technology in it than with my last vehicle. So I'm just like, I still feel like I'm driving a spaceship anyway. So I don't really bother with it, but kind of some of the future plans with the truck, I would say kind of go as follows. So I want to put a leveling kit in it. I think I'm just going to do like the 2-inch spacer up front. I don't really want to pay for a whole suspension kit just to raise the front a couple inches. Just kind of want to get a little extra ground clearance in the front, because that's what kind of we seem to run into in the backcountry a lot, is like when you're doing those approach angles and just trying to get over little things here and there. So I do want to level it out. And so, I mean, let me know in the comments if you guys have any experience with that or have any kind of advice on that front. As far as, I think I got decent amount of ground clearance with it already. I just want a little bit more in the front, and also I think it's just a cool kind of stance to have it leveled out. But also I don't want it to just like fall apart if you guys have had experience with kind of crappy ones. So that's kind of what I want to do on the front. I might get some rock sliders eventually. I think this step up is kind of just ugly, and it's a little bit sun bleached, so it's starting to turn a little bit gray. And I also just don't really use it. And I don't necessarily want to take the whole thing off. I don't know, kind of up there on that one. Do want to get some better tires, probably some Terra grapplers. I've had those in the past, and those have done super well with daily driving and also just with off-road use. So kind of the last thing that I'll probably plan on doing with it is I want to put a rack on the back that's just barely above the bed, because I want to get a roof nest, the iCamper, whatever. Want to get one of those pretty bad. Those are sweet, super expensive, especially the iCampers. Like, I'm obviously not sponsored by anybody. And so I'm not just getting those mailed to my front door just for funsies. So if I do get one, I kind of want to get like a mid-level one. I think Roof Nest makes a pretty affordable one, and then there's a couple other ones, but that iCamper is just super, super sweet. Big fan of having it have a hard top for hail and wind and all that kind of stuff, because I think 2 elk hunts ago, we got a pretty dang nasty storm, and our tent was about to just about implode. So I think I definitely want one that has a hard top. I can suspend it up here when I'm not using it pretty easily. I can come up with a little contraption to lift it up. But those are kind of the plans, future plans for the truck. Like I said, super happy with this thing. Nobody really like just comes up to me and is like, oh, well, nice truck. But everybody all my friends and family basically like it. I think it's comfortable. Think it's, you know, pretty slick. I think so as well. So I'm just super happy with this thing. Definitely looking forward to more elk hunts, deer hunts, maybe some longer road trips. Does super well on long road trips because it's just super comfortable. So yeah, so let me know in the comments sections what you guys think. If you got any kind of ideas for what I should do with it, or any advice or anything like that, definitely let me know. And then obviously, as always, like and subscribe. Gonna be doing some more outdoor videos with hunting season coming up. It's getting a little bit cooler out, so we'll probably try to do some camping. Definitely doing some scouting. Got, you know, elk season coming up, deer season coming up, so getting this thing ready for it and getting myself ready for it. So yeah, appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.